Hello, Speed. You need better interpreters. Now, let me tell you why. I've been following your trip in China closely. Frankly speaking, it's truly remarkable, and thank you for sharing the real China to the world. But there's one thing holding you back: your interpreters.
Speed is in China now, and there's a American translator who is basically trying to start a race war.
Let me tell you why. At one point, when you were simply wondering what people were doing on the street, your interpreter turned your polite English language into a demanding, rude remark in Chinese. That was a minor issue, though. What came across later was far more serious.
Okay, so Speed wanted to get a haircut. So he went into a hair salon and they asked the people who work there, like, can he get a haircut? And they said, wow, this is dreadlocks, right? That's not very easy to cut. For us, that's all they said. And the translator said, oh, they said your hair is raggedy. Raggedy. Okay, I have to say that this person is American, like born and raised in the US. So that's not a language barrier issue. It's not like, oh, they don't understand the historical background. They don't understand what this word actually means. They know what they're doing. And they said, oh, your hair is raggedy. Speed is so smart. He doesn't even speak Chinese, but he knew something was off and he said, no. They didn't say this. They definitely did not say this. And then he called somebody else over who also understands English and Chinese. And he asked the other person to give him a new translation. And the new translator said, no, they just said like, they don't know how to properly do your hair because after they cut it, they will have to put it back in shape, make it pretty, make it like dreadlocks again, but they don't know how to do it properly. So they rather not mess with your hair. And the first translator was on the set and like, oh no, they didn't give you a direct translation. He's just trying to use his high IQ and EQ to make everything sound better. What? They never mentioned the word raggedy. They never gave a comment on his hair. You are the one who is calling his hair raggedy. All they said is that it's not very easy to do, which is like a statement to their own skill. And I have to say, most people in China have straight hair, like straight, so straight that they don't think my hair is straight, but my hair is definitely straight. My dad, though, he has beautiful wavy hair, and one time he went to the hair salon, he came home bald because the hairdresser doesn't know how to cut any hair that's not straight. But this was 25 years ago. You can say that hairdressers, oh, they need to go and learn better, they need to be more inclusive. That's all fine, but they didn't call his hair raggedy. That's attitude issue, okay? So don't put words in their mouths. That's not okay.
Good thing Speed didn't buy into it and double-checked with someone else.
Make this hairstyle, so if they cut it, they can't put it back. Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate the honesty.
Now that, Speed, is not translation. That's misrepresentation and, frankly, manipulation. What really concerned me, though, was his inappropriate behavior. He repeatedly used the word chick.
This is the same translator who told Speed he can set him up with some Chinese chicks,
which is offensive when describing women, ladies, or young ladies. And he even proposed to offer you Chinese chicks.
During that live stream with Speed, he literally asked,
introduce a chick in China.
No.
So I've seen a lot of people talking about whether chick is like an offensive word toward women. And honestly, here's what I think. First of all, in a formal setting, especially during a live stream where like thousands of people are watching, you could just said lady, woman, even girl. So why go for a word that's, kind of flirty and superficial? Second, whether a word is offensive or not really depends on how the people receiving it feels. Like, if we Chinese girls feel that chick isn't okay, if we're uncomfortable with it, then honestly, the best thing you can do is just say sorry. That's it. No need to argue, no need to defend, just apologize and move on.
Wondering if you've had enough of those. I don't know what that means. It's very disrespectful and confusing, to put it mildly. He also called your fans not normal, crazy.
Then it gets worse. He goes,
Fans are fucking scary.
How they're scary?
They're not normal.
You're not normal, buddy.
excuse me? who give you the right to say someone's fans, actual people, are not normal? That's not just rude, that's pure arrogance. Watching the whole thing, I honestly don't feel like he respects China at all. It's more like, I don't like you, but I'll take your money. Meanwhile, look at Speed. That's someone who really respects culture. He came to China, embraced the food, the people, the culture, no fake airs, no mockery, just genuine curiosity and kindness. So if you want to make money in China, maybe start by showing some real respect.
I think that's disrespectful. I think that's disgraceful. Now, I think you probably know this now, that interpreters not only translate the language, but also bridge the gaps, the cultural gaps. Now, your interpreters currently are not even grasping the language correctly, let alone the cultural nuances. So I think you need a better interpreter. And I happen to know someone. He's a trained simultaneous interpreter. He has a bachelor degree in translation and a master's degree from the University of Warwick in the UK. He lived and worked in the UK for over 5 years. He's interpreted for members of the royal family, cabinet ministers, leading business leaders, etc. And his name is Don Lee. He has around 100,000 American followers on social media. And if you need his help, let me know. Drop me a message. I live in Shenzhen, I live in Guangdong, and I'll be very happy to show you around.
Allow me to give my 2 cents on this. I don't want to emphasize on the Barbara and what happened there, what rugged, whatever. I have no opinion on that. I'm an African. Everyone has my type of hair. I've never experienced that. But let me give my perspective on the second part, where the language and the interpretation, calling women chicks and such kind of things, you know. We need to understand the audience of Speed. Speed is a person who is an influencer, yes. He has a diverse audience, but the majority of people who follow his content are young people, you know, the youth, teenagers, you know, those people are the ones who watch his content. And those are the kind of language they use, you know. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because I've been sharing for a while now on this platform American contents, and they will say the F word every minute, every time, even 5 times in one sentence. And I won't see the need of filtering that. But now when I started having more Chinese audience, I noticed that there's a difference here. They don't want cursing words. They don't want, you know, I think this is the mistake that they interpreted it, not to understand the wider audience that Speed was representing by him being in a different context. And yeah, that's the only problem I'm seeing. But I kind of feel like it's more of the audience. Young people don't filter their words. They just speak as it comes, and they don't take no offense in anything, you know. Yeah, that's my perspective on this. I don't know what you think about this. Leave a thought in the comment section. Let's interact kindly.
I love you.
All right, thank you. Peace out. Tony?
Just about.
A French viewer of my live stream sent me a very emotional message. He said, I find it insane that China is the only country so eager to be invaded and see its culture destroyed. He expressed deep love for China but strong concerns about foreign visitors. As a reply, I appreciate his protective instinct. It shows genuine care. But let me offer another perspective. China's civilization has survived 5,000 years, not by being fragile, but by being adaptable, from the Tang Dynasty to today. Now look at the current trends. Many KOLs, such as iShowSpeed, are actively coming to China and showing the authentic local life to millions. To me, this isn't culture invasion. It's opportunity. When Speed visited the Great Wall, learned Shaolin Kung Fu, or tried hot pot, his global audience saw China's breathtaking landmarks, our vibrant daily life, and the warmth of Chinese people. Are some visitors disrespectful? Sure. But China sets clear boundaries. Try misbehaving at the Forbidden City and see what happens. Meanwhile, modern China's culture exports from Ne Zha film to Rednote to TikTok trends now captivate global audiences organically. This is cultural confidence, not weakness. So to our French friends and all viewers, China welcomes the world with both open arms and clear boundaries. If you want to come to China, learn basic Mandarin, understand cultural taboos, engage meaningfully. Don't you think the best cultural exchange happens when both sides meet halfway? Follow me if you want to know more about China.
I'm glad that this observation has been highlighted once more. I've been interacting with these comments in my comment section, especially sharing Americans being on Rednote, exchanging cultural values, learning from Chinese culture, and so many Americans love Chinese culture. And the comments that I always get in my comment section is, we would want to see China remain like this because it's a beauty. It's so beautiful what is happening in China. So out of love, they want to see China remain intact. But one thing I want to let you know, Chinese are very direct. When you do something wrong, they will tell you in your face. Watch this clip and let me know what you think.
Oh shit.
It's dangerous. Don't teach the children to do that, okay?
Okay, thank you. 谢谢. You're right, 谢谢.
There's a girl who told Speed she doesn't like him because he's black, but she likes his girlfriend because the girlfriend's white, and people are asking me to talk about it. There is nothing to talk about. She's racist. She said it herself proudly that she's racist. What is there to talk about? Why are people making up excuses for her? And these people are not Chinese because they're saying, oh, you know, China doesn't have the same history as us. They don't understand racism the same way. And this is a language issue. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Yes, she does. She seems really young. She speaks great English. She understands what she's saying. You won't learn about the word racism without knowing what that means, right? And we also watch the news. Like, I grew up in China. I learned English in China. I've never been to the US. I've never been to an English-speaking country, actually. But you learn about these things in history classes. When you see something happening on the news, you'll be curious to see why is there such unfairness towards a certain group of people. And that's when you learn about historical issues, systematic oppressions, and I had no idea what were stereotypes, and I also didn't know what are the certain stereotypes towards certain group of people. I didn't know what are the right words to use in English because it's my second language, right? That's normal. But it's not normal to go around and be like, I hate you because, yeah, you know, like racism. Yeah, of course that's not okay, so stop looking for excuses for her. We have a saying in China, the bigger the population is, more chances for you to have weirdos. 林子大什么鸟都有，这就是个傻鸟，这就是个大傻鸟，这脑子有泡，大傻鸟. That's the end of it, right? And I also don't want to say that, oh, she's a cosplayer, because I feel like the cosplaying community has been under so much unfair, unnecessary fire. Like, this is not their fault. I think she is not showing herself because she knows what she's doing is wrong. So let's not blame it on the cosplaying community. This is also not a common thing in China. Like,
you were born at the year of the monkey, so this actually fits very well. Yeah.
I was born the same day as Wukong?
Yes, according to the Chinese zodiac. Yes, you were born in the year of the monkey.
Monkey brother.
Yes.
Chinese lion is monkey brother.
Does China have racism? The US has a legacy of slavery, segregation, and systematic racism issues rooted in centuries of oppression. China is largely a homogeneous society where everyone is just Chinese. So people with other color skins are often seen as foreign guests. There's an old saying, isn't it a joy to have friends from afar? So most Chinese people are genuinely hospitable to outsiders. In less cosmopolitan areas where foreigners are rare, people might stare or act overly curious. Well, this is impolite. It usually comes from fascination, not hostility. Like some Western countries where racial hatred exists, China's issue is more about regional pride. So for example, people from Beijing and Shanghai might not like each other because they consider their own city and culture to be superior. China's constitution explicitly prohibits racial discrimination. Unfortunately, the West is seeing the rise in anti-Chinese discrimination. Chinese students abroad got harassed, Asian elders got attacked. I just want to say we're living in a global village where all are born the same. No baby hates others for their skin color. The world needs more understanding and less prejudice. After all, real progress starts with empathy. So what do you think?
For us to understand the concept of racism, it's important to understand it from history, and I'm glad that the previous clip has just explained a little bit on what racism is. But there's a full lesson on racism taught by a professor on this platform. I'm linking it in the comment section for you to watch so that you get to understand the term racism and get familiar with it, get to know the meaning of the word. I've been interacting with a few comments on this platform, especially sharing these videos of Speed in China. And there are black people who are saying he also faced racism. This is not just clearing the misconceptions about China, but it's also clearing the misconceptions that Chinese have of black people. But one thing that I will keep saying, there are Chinese who have never been in the US. They have never been in countries where the black people, but the representation of black people they have is also portrayed, is also displayed by the Western media through movies, because most of them learn English from watching those movies. So better, I guess you understand where all this is coming from.
Even though Speed is known as one of the biggest streamers in the world, bro, I feel like he don't get the respect and get the accolades that he truly deserves from people. I feel like out of all the big name streamers, he kind of get talked about the least, but he damn near the biggest. I ain't gonna lie. And I think it's because he stay to himself. He do his streams. You feel me? You don't really be seeing him in a lot of controversy, especially, well, when he was younger, you did. But now it's like within the last year and a half, 2 years, you don't really hear that from him no more, bro. And I really like what he did with that China stream, gang. Like, I ain't gonna lie, he made me realize, bro, because I never been to China. But it's like, if you never been to these places, you will have preconceived notions of them because of movies and TV shows and what people say, you know what I'm saying? Stereotypes, all that. So to see Speed stream in China and see that shit is really the future and see what he was doing, he showed a whole nother side of China that I've never, ever seen before. You feel me? Like, he really changed my perspective on that shit. Like, if y'all really go back and watch some of the clips from them streams, that nigga really showed us a whole futuristic world and really showed us what China was about. Like, Speed really the go to this shit, bro. Like, people got to start giving him just a little bit more flowers, bro. I feel like sometimes he get forgotten when it come to streaming, but really, he damn near the big.
Can you believe Speed's China trip was almost free? After watching a traditional Peking opera performance, Speed reached into his pocket to pay, only to have all the performers politely refuse. At a makeup shop, he was thrilled with his panda-style makeover, but when he tried to pay, the owner wouldn't take a single yuan. Speed even asked, "Why won't you charge me?" The shopkeeper smiled and said, "This is Chengdu's way of showing love to every foreign guest." No matter how much Speed insisted, the answer was the same. Later, after enjoying a traditional Chinese ear cleaning service, Speed was once again told no need to pay, and the kind technician even gave him a small gift. Touched, Speed thanked them warmly. Then came the hot pot moment. When Speed tried to pay for his meal, the restaurant staff waved him off, saying, "We're just happy to welcome you to Chengdu." But this time, Speed insisted. He was almost embarrassed by how generous everyone had been. Finally, the owner accepted 100 RMB, about $14, just to make him feel better. Seeing the payment go through, Speed sighed in relief, but still thanked them sincerely. And after his kung fu lesson, when Speed offered to pay his master, the teacher responded with a line so philosophical.
Bless you, master.
Friend is no money. Friend is your country, my country, whole world. We are friends. Because Kung Fu.
Well, it left everyone thinking. Here's the thing. If you followed Speed's trip, you'd see that Chinese kindness isn't just surface level, it's in their bones. Compared to his experiences in other countries, where he got scammed, overcharged, or even had his hair pulled, China is nothing like what CNN portrays.